Girls Aloud, and they can't speak French. They have so many hits, Girls Aloud, and Kimberley Walsh was with them, of course, and appearing at the moment with Jay Mcguiness as well in Sleepless. I don't know if you've seen the film Sleepless in Seattle, one of my very favourite films. I think it's just great. And at the moment, they're in the theatre. I think the show goes on for another couple of weeks or so. And not an easy thing to do at the moment, and it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to talking to them because, you know, how they've done it. They've had to do testing, because of this horrible virus that's going around at the moment, so it hasn't been easy to put on. And also from the audience's point of view as well, social distancing and things like that, but it's been very successful. So we're going to talk to them about that. And I wanted to play you this one from The Wanted as well. That's The Wanted there, and glad you came. And I do believe on the line, it's the first time we've actually had two guests in completely different buildings. And Jay Mcguiness is with us. Hi to you, Jay. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Thanks. Oh, fine, thanks. I think we can also make contact with Kimberley. Kimberley, are you there? No, she's not there. Yes. Kimberley, you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Lovely. You're both there. Wonderful stuff as well.
Great.
Well, welcome along. Let's talk to you first, Jay. 2015, you won Strictly Come Dancing, didn't you?
Yes, that's what happened.
Kimberley, I don't want to make you feel awful, but you came second.
I did. It's all right. She ripped me about it too. It's fine.
Yeah, you both made it. You both made it up, though, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we're both in the same show now. So we.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Kimberley, let's come to you first because you auditioned for Pop Stars, the rivals on ITV, and then you suddenly appeared in Girls Aloud. How did that happen?
It was one of the first kind of on-screen talent shows after sort of Pop Idol, and I think there's another Pop Stars show before ours. But ours was the first show to make like a girl band and a boy band. So I formed part of the girl band, which was Girls Aloud, and that was in 2002. The rest is history, I guess.
You had enormous...
It worked out pretty well for us.
well, I mean, 20 top 10 singles, 4 number ones. That's not bad going, is it? And so what
bad at all.
So what made you sort of leave the band?
Do you know what? We were together for almost 15 years, like the total spread with our little hiatus in between. So it just felt like a natural point to finish, really. You know, we were very lucky as a pop band to actually have a career that long.
Yeah.
So we just kind of wanted to end on a high, really.
Do you ever meet up at all or not?
I do see the girls a lot, actually. It's lovely to sort of like share this kind of next phase of life. We've all got kids now, and so we get the kids together. So no, we're all close.
Was it always an ambition of yours to go into the acting? Because I know you were in Shrek, the musical in the West End, and Horrid Henry, the movie as well. And of course, Strictly. So it was something you wanted to do, go into acting and not just be with a band the whole time.
Of course, No, I think, like Jay, actually, we both kind of went to theatre school as kids and did a lot of musicals and stuff. So I always thought that I would probably come back around to doing musicals and acting. I did quite a lot of TV acting as a kid as well, all of that.
Yeah.
But it does feel like a really natural thing that I kind of brought it back around and went into musical theatre again, same as Jay.
And Jay, you had a lot of success with The Wanted as well. How did that come about? I mean, at the age of 12, you went to, the Charlotte Hamilton School of Dance?
Yeah, that's right.
So you had a bit of an advantage on everybody on that Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously...
you both did.
Obviously, those styles are all their own type of thing, but... Of
course.
The difference between having, a lot of, count 5, 6, 7, 8, it takes a lot of the pressure out of your head. But for me, with the band, it was... I finished college, I started getting my train down to London and doing different auditions, and one of them was for a record label. And this was just about when JLS got massive, and JLS, do you remember they sold out all these mall shopping centre tours?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Then the record labels thought, you know what, maybe the boy band thing could come around again this decade.
Yeah.
And we did that. I went and did my audition with all the guys, and we started our radio tour.
Yeah.
And
And how long were you with The Wanted, Jay?
We were 5 years together.
Yeah.
So even though I did win Strictly and Kimberley didn't, her accolades of 15 years together, 4
Yeah.
number one, she absolutely trounced us. So don't worry about it.
Well, that was. I think your main claim to fame, though, Jay, has got to be. I mean, you, like me, are a vegetarian, but not a militant vegetarian. And
Right.
and you were named in the People for the Ethnic Treatment of Animals the sexiest vegetarian in 2013.
Gee, I mean, who can beat that, Jay?
Well, I mean, for
Well,
goodness sake.
At least 7 people since then.
Well, that must have
Yeah,
been the height of stardom, really. Come on, Jay.
I remember the boys absolutely rinsed me when that happened.
I
And
bet.
you know when you win something and it's quite a narrow field of options.
Yeah.
It could only be more, extreme if it was like 21-year-old left-handed vegetarian who's born in Nottingham of the year. And the fact that it's 7 years ago is even doubly tragic.
Well, I'm very jealous of you. I've been a vegetarian since the age of 4, and I've never won a title like that, for goodness sake.
You're sexy for life. You don't need awards for that.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you, Jay. Going back to the, of course, you both appeared in the musical Big as well. So, I mean, it's sort of become a bit of a double act, haven't you?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we did Big it was actually a year ago now at the Dominion in town in the West End. And that was a really fun show, actually, to be a part of. And then the producers of Big just liked us together. And so asked us to do the new musical that we're doing now, which is Sleepless, the musical.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been very lucky.
Now, Sleepless is, I think I'm right in saying, Jay, is a limited run, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually have 2 weeks left.
And tell us where it is.
Yeah, it's in the Wembley Troubadour Theatre.
Yeah.
And it's a modern building. So we have, obviously with the difference of regulations nowadays, we have, socially distanced crowds, which means 450 and a 1,000-ish seater.
Wow.
And yeah, we've got 2 more weeks left. I think I've appealed to see what happens in the future and hopefully bring it back next year. But I cannot tell you, the atmosphere of our cast and crew, everyone is so grateful to be there. We are just having the best time. And our audience has been great. So some people are just so grateful to even be in the theatre that they're crying an overture. And it's just been magic from day one to the end.
But it must be very strange, being in a theatre that size with 1,000 people and only being able to have 400 people in there. Does it feel strange on stage?
It was strange at first, but I think like everything in these times that we're living in now, everything becomes the new normal, and I feel like that has done too. Like now, we're like, okay, that's what we expect to see. And actually, as Jay said, people are so happy to just be in a theatre watching a show again that the reactions are actually so warm and so loud that you can still kind of tell that they're all with you and still getting the same energy and atmosphere. So it's not bothering me at all, actually.
Well, I think it's incredible what you've done. And during rehearsals, presumably, you both had to be tested the whole time, the whole cast. Is that right?
And still after this
every day now.
Really? Well, so you take a COVID test every single day?
Yeah.
Every morning,
normal.
Our cast and crew, we line up, we get our swab, we get our wristband, and then we can't leave the building for the rest of the day. And it gives us the ability to get in those rehearsals and get in those scenes and hold hands and dance together and hug because we know that everyone's negative. And so I think that's actually, it makes it even more special for the audience who are still socially distancing to watch us, fall in love and cry and hug and hold hands. It's nice.
I just think I've seen the film. I haven't seen the stage version that you're doing at the moment. And of course, the film is not a musical, is it? So this is completely different, or is it based totally around the film?
It is based on the film. Like the script is actually very similar to the movie. It was written by the same people, and then we've got British writers and composers that have written the score. Brendan Cole and Robert Scott, and so they've kind of created these musical numbers that are still kind of that, that 90s feel, or those big band type songs. And they work alongside the story. So I think it really works. Like it does take you still back to that really nostalgic 90s rom-com, you know.
I love rom-coms, and I think it's one of the best films, and I've ever seen that film, Sleepless in Seattle. It's lovely, beautiful film.
Yeah, it's a lovely show.
Yeah. So you're enjoying that. What happens after the show finishes, Jay? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be going? I mean, is the Wanted going to reform again or not?
We don't have any immediate plan to do that at the minute. One of my band members, Max, is on Strictly this year, whatever form that takes to the restrictions. But I think for me, I'm really going to keep my eye on the theatre world. I've really loved the past 2 years. I've loved both shows that I've done with Kim, and I just hope that the big boys that are in control or have influence in the industry find a way to make it carry on, because I've really enjoyed the past 2 years, and I'm going to try and keep my hat in the ring.
It's very difficult at the moment, isn't it? Because I'm in the middle of doing a Sound of the 60s tour at the moment, and we've had to leave it till next year, and nobody really knows. And theatres have such a problem at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, it's a really tough time.
And I don't know. Nobody can say when it's going to come back to normality, because we're waiting for I guess something to cure this horrible thing, and so you can't really plan ahead, can you?
No, I do feel like I think we've been so lucky to have the opportunity to do this show now, but as you say, it does feel tricky to start planning ahead too far into the future right now. I think I'm just kind of living everything day by day at the moment, as I think many people are, and just trying to enjoy while I can.
When the audience comes to the theatre, then do they have to wear face masks during the performance or not?
Yeah, so as they arrive, they're temperature checked. They are asked to wear face masks, and like I say, because this is the trouble with a lot of theatres. Theatres, especially in this country, are tiny because they're old buildings. Our building, luckily, is huge. It has a huge foyer, huge bar, huge toilets. And so they are able easily to just sort of hang around, just completely separate from anyone else.
It's actually a new theatre, isn't it, Jay?
Yeah, it used to be the X Factor Studios.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
studios can be, and they refurbed it and made it into a theatre. But yeah, when you visualize, the sort of red velvet, tiny little 100-year or 200-year-old building, it's not that. If you imagine when you watch the X Factor and Alexandra Burke warbling her heart out, it's that area. And
big open space,
Yeah. Are you looking forward to doing other shows? I mean, will this show go on tour, do you think? Or I suppose you can't say, can you? This is the problem.
It's just tricky to know what the future holds, but I think hopefully there definitely is a future for the show. We just don't know when that will be.
No, that's the problem, isn't it, at the moment?
I think touring especially is difficult, because every venue has to basically find out what they think is appropriate and safe and what's legal, and then do that. I think the best bet that theatres have is you need to solve your, and it's silly, but your toilet situation, because you can have bars where everyone gets their drinks brought to them, that's fine. But if people are going to be sat there for 3 hours and watching a show, and then they get their little interval, someone needs to work out how those people are going to then go and use a restroom. And I think that if that's sorted, then we don't. It doesn't matter. The social distancing thing goes away. But short of that, we either need a vaccine or who knows.
Well,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I just think a vaccine will be on the way sooner rather than later. I'm hoping so, at any rate. Then we can all get back to normal again. That's the main thing, isn't it? Jay, did you enjoy doing Strictly Come Dancing?
Oh, it was just, Kimberley will attest to it. It's the most crazy, brilliant experience. I really, really enjoyed it. It's just absolutely bonkers how quickly you can care about a foxtrot or a Dublin. I really loved it. My partner, Aliona, really looked out for me, and she told me from day one, there's 12 dancers, and we'll just do our best and see what happens. And I think that I went in with good a reasonable level of expectation, and so I could just enjoy it. It's also exciting, isn't it? Like, you go in and you think, wait, I'm with 12 other people from all all different walks of life. So I'm meeting Ainsley Harriott and, you know, Peter Andre. That is an odd experience for anyone. So you walk in and, oh man, it was just wild. So much fun. And
how about you, Kimberley? Did you enjoy it? I mean, it's quite a commitment, isn't it?
It's a huge, huge commitment, and I didn't actually realise how difficult I would actually find the dancing and, you know, learning like a new routine every week. But I, like Jay, just absolutely loved the experience, just fell in love with dancing completely, and had the best partner in Tasha, and just, you know, it's still probably one of the best experiences I've had career-wise. I just loved it.
Well,
everyone YouTube Kimberley dancing crazy in love.
No, don't you dare.
Well, I just think you know, what you're doing in the theatre is just fantastic. In a strange sort of way, you're lucky because the rest of us have to pay to get tested.
I know, we do feel lucky though, honestly. You're right. It is a very nice, like, comforting feeling to know that you're tested every day. So we are actually very lucky. I don't think we could be working in a safer environment if we tried.
But tell us again where the show's on. It's Sleepless, of course, it's called.
Yes,
and it's
Sleepless The Musical at the Wembley Troubadour Theatre, and there's lots of parking there. It's very safe. Like, we would love to see you there. We've got 2 weeks left. So
that's what, and
so much for having us.
well, thank you for giving up your time to be with us, and I think it's wonderful what the production people have done to put it on, and it's a real breakthrough, and let's hope we all get back to normal soon. Kimberley, Walsh, thank you, and Jay, thank you very much indeed as well.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks for being with us.